Alright, this next knot's a very simple knot. It's called the Uni Knot, universal knot, and it really fits the bill of its name. It is, in fact, universal. You can do it for terminal connections, line-to-line connections. You can do it to create your own hand-knotted leaders. It really is universal, and I really like it. I use it a lot. We'll just start with the terminal version of the Uni Knot, using our very oversized and dramatized hook here. Through the eye, and then you double it back. You make a loop just out of your tag end, like so. And then what you do is you wrap both through your loop and through the running line. This is where it gets its strength over just a normal clinch knot or improved clinch. Now with this knot, the larger the diameter of your line, the fewer turns you make. So to be perfectly clear, if you're using very thin tippet, if you're using 7X or something, you got to make 7 or 8 turns. In my bass fishing, when I'm using 20-pound test or even 30-pound test, 4 or 5 wraps is all you need. And if you start getting more than that, you risk burning your line as you're cinching it down, especially with fluorocarbon. So this is where you would wet it, and as it pulls down, that's what you're looking for. That is a strong knot, and I really like it, especially when I got cold hands, because it's easy to tie. You can tie it big. You're not fumbling with little tiny spaces or little loops. And the best thing about it is I don't think it has the highest knot strength ratio out there. It's definitely high, perfectly acceptable, but it's really hard to mess it up. A lot of really strong knots, if you make a misstep, you've totally compromised the strength of that knot. This one, it's pretty hard to screw it up. The other place that I use the Uni Knot is in line-to-line connections of any diameter. It's one nice thing about it. If your diameters are reasonably close, we'll say in the version of making knotted leaders, or in the case of making knotted leaders, you can be taking whole couple steps down. From 3x to 5x, this knot works great. And it's very simple. You run them past each other, give yourself a good amount to spare, and then you just make the same Uni Knot. Form a loop, wrap around your main line or your other line and the loop that you created. We're only going to do a couple here so that it cinches down easy with this heavy material. But again, the thicker the material, the fewer wraps you got to make. Just a little bit of trial and error will get you in the ballpark. Since I'm right-handed, I flip over to do it this way. If you're ambidextrous, you can do it on the other side. But again, make a loop around both your loop and the standing line. And then when you slide them down against each other, it's a jam knot. And I really like it. You maintain a lot of line strength here. Cinches down very tight, compact. Once again, once you get it really good and tight, you can cut the tag end short and not have to worry about picking up debris, especially in the case of knotted leaders where you've got so many knots. That's the Uni to Uni.